Dude, you picked up that axe so naturally.
Huh?
I was like, for a second, like, Joe here? Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I think we're all holding something.
I'm not.
I'm not.
You'll hold my hand.
Oh. Zingers every time. Keep that in there.
Keep that in there.
Keep that in there. In Robo Popo news.
But that's not how this works.
I like that title.
RoboCop. Does he shoot people in the dick?
He can, yeah. Submitted by shooting people in the dick. Sure. Well, it's an entire day of winging it. So, this is a article about. It's titled "A RoboCop, a Park, and a Fight: How Expectations About Robots Are Clashing with Reality." So, I guess in Huntington Park, they're starting to put in these
close.
Yeah. They're starting to put in these like robotic. I'll just show you a picture.
Yeah, what kind of robot are we talking about? Are we talking about Terminator? Danger.
Yeah, they kind of look like salt shakers. Yeah. So then I guess these robots are patrolling around the parks to give people like more peace of mind. They're there to if something happens or whatever, they've got like a panic button or whatever that you can press on it so that hopefully people can police can come and respond to whatever's going on, and it's just supposed to be people feel a little bit safer. But this particular instance, it didn't work very well because it's according to.
Did someone go behind it, push it, and it was like, sorry, can you get up?
There had to be a bottle of water, just like, yeah, what's up? Have you guys seen pictures where the robot is just moving along and it just like drowns itself in a lake?
Oh, I heard about that. Where like when it committed suicide.
Suicide by just going to the water.
So at Salt Lake Park, there's a fight that broke out, and then a woman came up and pressed the emergency alert button, and she said, "I was pressing the button, but it said step out of the way." It just kept ringing and ringing, and I kept pushing and pushing. So apparently in that particular instance didn't work out so well. So that's the
Maybe she pushed it too many times.
You think? Or you think that the button just wasn't working?
No. Okay, look here. I don't know what this robot's deal is or what this lady's deal is, but like let's just give the benefit of the doubt, right? Like, what if she just pushed it one too many times, or it just kept resetting every time?
That sounds like a problem though, because if I design something or someone's panicking pressing a button, the first thing shouldn't reset.
I'm with Julie on this. Like, what if it's like one of the ones where like it's one of those double push ones where like you push it and it locks in place? And
you push it out and it pulls back up.
They kept doing that, like not realizing it's like no, you have to.
That's bad design.
No, it's good design because then they keep from having false calls of someone pushing it like, oops, I didn't mean to bump into this. Sorry, officer, but too late. The cops are coming.
Look,
now it's like the Nintendo Wii, not the Wii. I keep forgetting the Switch, where you have to press it 3 times before you can like actually activate it.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like when you see in movies and TV shows, right? You push the panic, like when someone pushes the panic button, it's only once. You don't see them go like.
Yeah, but if your life is in danger,
but in real life, excuse me, if your life is in danger, you push it once and run.
I totally get it. When you're in danger, like your mind goes into panic mode and you just can't help but push it multiple times. But I'm just saying, out of practicality of this whole fucking thing, right? Maybe she pushed it one too many times. If we go based on movies and TV, which I know that's all fictional, right? They only do it once. And everything happens, like safety features come in and whatnot. Everybody gets saved. Yeah, but I'm just saying, in this instance, like it's one too many times. I know this is a really stupid idea, but come on.
It shouldn't reset the request ticket. If you send it, it's not gonna be like, oh, there's a second fight that broke out. You press it the third time, a third fight that broke out. No, it's all for the same instance.
You want to be practical about the whole thing. Like this thing doesn't make sense. Like, why don't you just call 911 on your phone?
Well, that's the funny thing is that they followed it up with nobody responded, so then somebody else called 911, and 15 minutes later, someone showed up.
You see, here's where she messed up. It's because if you look at the shape of it, it's perfect. Because basically, what you do is you hit the button, and it's a little trap door that opens up, and a little officer. Hey, come back here! So they're like, step back, ma'am, I can't exit. I can't get out.
Get out of the way because you're blocking the trap door. Dude, that would be fucking hilarious.
It's like a grandfather clock where the little, the bird comes out.
It's a cop with a billy club. They just
So it's literally, it's like you open it and they come out. It's like an entire trope of them. They knock them, drag them into it.
Because I was imagining just one. Like a whole gang of fucking.
Yeah, I was imagining that just one guy. It's not an actual robot. It's just a guy inside of the robot suit, and he's just sweating in there.
Thank you for releasing me.
Oh God, it's so hot.
What's the emergency?
The emergency is I'm dying of heat stroke.
Freaking arms just punch out. It's go time.
Oh, yo, can you imagine if they just like burst out like an egg? Stands up and like runs off.
That's a trap. They're all riled up, and what happens is like after they beat you up, they hug you. The chest of it opens up and absorbs the person in, and then they go shooting off to the nearest precinct.
Oh my God. What? I don't know. I for one welcome our new robot overlords.
Exactly. All hell.
Yeah, but apparently they.
Yeah.
When you push the panic button, is it supposed to connect to like the park security or like legit the police?
I think the intent is supposed to, it doesn't specify in the article here, but I think it's supposed to like basically call 911 or alert somebody to
Yeah, so
to
just
come.
use your goddamn phone.
Yeah, but I mean, I get the idea of these robots, but it's interesting because later on in the article, it's kind of an op-ed, so it goes into talking about how different people feel about having the robots there.
It's like when you're at college and you have those blue light
security
help
boxes.
stuff. It's moving.
Yeah, so for some people, they said that some people are a little uneasy about it. They're like, it looks kind of weird. Like, I don't know how I feel about robots like wandering around as like, watching us and stuff. And then other people say that they like it because they feel safer. And I get that, especially when you're bringing families there and stuff like that. If you're worried about the safety of your kids and stuff, like it makes sense. But overall, this particular instance, I'm sure did not leave a great taste in this one person's mouth.
Would you rather have something like that or like one of those like Boston University ones and then they're like,
oh, they can run at you?
Yeah, and they can do like backflips. Like,
I don't know about that. I'm okay with the slow moving salt shakers.
It's less frightening to have it come after you because you can outrun it, whereas the Boston Dynamics ones is gonna like.
Oh my God.
And we'll never get
is
tired.
that the one with 4 legs?
They have that one. They also have the one that can walk
That's
upstairs
like
and
some
stuff.
Terminator shit.
That's why I asked in the beginning. I was like, "Is it a Terminator one? Or are we talking about like a little?"
No, it's a
R2D2?
giant salt shaker.
Yeah.
But the last thing is because the police responded to this. They're like, oh, okay, well the robots aren't necessarily there to enforce all the laws or whatever. It's more or less to collect data is the way that they put it, and that to me makes me a little bit uneasy because I don't know how I feel like about them
That's like a
collecting
giant,
data.
Like, how many times will this lady push me until something comes? That type of data?
Yeah, or like the like just watching.
It's just a prank, bro.
Just a prank, bro.
Just a prank.
Just watching people and stuff. It just gives me very like 1980 or it's 1984, right? Yeah, Orwellian vibes there. But that's just my opinion.
I'm okay with that kind of stuff as long as it doesn't enter my home. Like I'm more afraid of like the Alexa and shit than I am.
I unplugged my Google Home because I was just like, you know what? I don't need it. I use this to set alarms and to get the weather, and that's
Siri
it.
listens to us.
Yeah.
Now Apple says that I kind of believe with Apple with the whole same with how they do Face ID and the Touch ID. It's stored on the phone, not on any kind of like systems, not on iCloud or anything like that. And federal government has tried to pull information into Apple, and they were like, "Hey, no, fuck that shit."
Yeah.
So I do kind of trust them on that front a little bit, but still, like the fact that Siri hears my conversations and shit like that is still kind of weird.
And it makes me feel weird because it's like, okay, it's still stored on my phone, but like, who's stopping them from getting access to my phone?
Right, especially when you refurbish your phone and you give it back.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, I don't know, it just gives me weird vibes. I mean, granted, like, I say that now, but like, to be honest, if it comes down to it, I was already talking about getting an iPhone, so like, my argument's kind of moot.
well, here's the thing. You guys who are on Google, it's completely open. Like, the little agreement you signed is like, yeah, you can take whatever you want with my conversation.
That's what I mean, is that a lot of people, I think, me included, will talk about like privacy concerns and stuff like that, and yet it's sort of like, we've signed over so much already, it's sort of like, well, shit, like, if I wanted to reverse all of that, where do I start? Like,
I mean, all of us are on Facebook.
yeah, exactly. All of us are on Facebook, Instagram. Like, I'm daily. Like, they're basically, everyone's basically follow. When you say followers, literally means followers. Like, you can follow my day from start to finish if I decide to like post about it. You know.
I wonder how much I care too, because like my girlfriend is always freaking out about like shit like that. I'm like, but I ain't doing shit. Like,
that's the other argument.
It's interesting if someone like government officials like, all right, cool, you knew that I had fucking peanut butter and jelly for. I watched some Twitch streamer today. Like, I don't give a shit.
And that's I feel like where most people stand on it, because that's where I sort of stood on it for a while too. Is I was like, well, I'm not doing anything illegal, so why should I care? But it's sort of that thought experiment, freedom of, the freedom to. Once something that I identify with or something that I am or something like that becomes illegal, then it's sort of like, well, all the things are already set into place to like, adapt that. Is Kyle here?
What?
Kyle! I bet it's not though. Is it Joe?
We can't let him in. It's a big boss. It's Big Boss Joe.
It's a crew day.
It's a crew
He's
day.
discovered us. Hi, Devin. The robot overlords are here. You see that?
Do shit without me?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Look at the imp! So robots, salt shakers, and
Privacy.
And also based on like who is the ruler at the time, because governments or just any kind of nation in history thrive under good kings or good
Until.
oligarchy. But the thing that sucks exactly is like once that shifts and then you have someone who's fucked up, then it's like, oh, I don't want you to listen to anything I've got going on. Before it's like, yeah, sure, go get the criminals who are really trying to hide something. But then once it becomes someone else,
Especially if you align with those ideals that good ruler is with, as long as you align with that set of like circumstances and rules and stuff, it's like, yeah, it's great until they move the goalposts, and then all of a sudden all the things that you believed in are now over here, and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel as good anymore. So I guess that's the one thing that I'm concerned about. A lot of this is just me talking out loud, FBI who's listening right now. So. Yeah, but I think it's a good thing to think about, especially in this age where we're all like posting our lives online, we're all like sharing with our friends, and not to talk bad about all of it, because really like it's afforded me a lot of actual friendships and like ways to connect with people that I don't think anybody could have ever fucking imagined, like even 5 years ago, much less like how many years past that before we got the internet.
And so you guys look at, you see a salt shaker, which you don't realize, flip upside down, it's a top. All right, so all it has to do is it rolls over, balances on its top, spikes come out the side, and then you gotta
Beyblade!
Exactly.
That's not where I was.
Japan tried to warn us. They're like, we're making these. You gotta know what this is really about.
You were like, you see a salt shaker, I see an assault shaker.
That's a good
We
one.
took it like a completely different direction, so I was like, I'm okay with this.
That's a good joke right there.
Thanks. I try.